Welcome to the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. Today's topic, budgeting for long-term success. And good morning. This is Ralph Lindy back from ralphlindy.com and the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. And I am starting to do a few other podcasts as well. I've got one that I am doing on a regular basis that is chronicling my weight loss. I am trying to take off 100 pounds of weight this year. So I've got another podcast going. It's called My 100-Pound Weight Loss Journey, where I talk about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how it is going. And if you want, you can catch that on most of the sites that you find, this podcast on, My 100-Pound Weight Loss Journey. But what I want to do is I want to be doing one podcast a day. So what I decided I'm going to be doing is for probably spring and summer, I'm going to be doing like one episode of Home-Based Business Success one day, and then the next day focus on the other podcasts, My 100-Pound Weight Loss Journey, and just kind of alternate. So instead of every day, the podcasts are going to be every other day for, this podcast and my relatively new podcast. But, that's about all the housekeeping stuff I've got to talk about here. Let's just go ahead now and dive into our topic, which is budgeting for long-term success. Now, when it comes to home-based business, online marketing, network marketing, whatever your particular business model is, it takes a little bit of time to learn what you're doing and to start doing it right. And there is a learning curve involved in getting your own business started. And a lot of people now, they will enter into a business and they will be overly optimistic. They'll be thinking like, gee whiz, I'm going to give this a good 30 days. And if I'm not a millionaire by that time, I'm going to drop this business and go on to something else. Other people are less generous with their time. They think, okay, let's give this 7 days and see what happens. And the truth of the matter is that when you are starting your own business, it may take you longer than 7 days to really become a stellar success. And it may take you longer than 30 days to be a really stellar success. A lot of people, it may take you about a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, or up to 5 years. And when you're getting a business started, you need to be able to give yourself the time that you need to learn how to do the business and to give your business a good chance to become profitable in a reasonable period of time. And just trying to become a 7-day wonder or a 30-day wonder, that is a possibility, yes. There are some very exceptional people that can knock it out of the park in a very short period of time. But in my experience, people like that are the exceptions, because they are exceptional people, but they are the exception rather than the rule. The general rule of thumb that, I learned this from listening to Darren Kidd, and I think this is great, solid advice. The general rule of thumb is that you need to give yourself at least a year. When you get into a new business, give yourself at least a year to learn the basics. And then after that, give yourself another year to get good at doing the basics. And then if you've done that, you spent your first year learning and your second year learning how to do it better and better and better, then by your third year, you're going to start showing some pretty good progress. But you have to get into the business with at least a 3-year mindset. Robert Kiyosaki, he recommends if you're getting into something like network marketing, give it a good 5-year. Have a 5-year plan and have a 5-year commitment to the business. But definitely don't think that once, if you get involved in a new business opportunity, whatever it may be, that you're going to become radically successful in 7 days or 30 days. Because most people, they're going to take longer to really learn how to do the business, learn the basics, and learn how to do the basics good, and just get good at doing the basics. And it takes time. There is a learning curve there. You've got to develop the right skill sets to do home-based business and to do particular types of home-based business. And you have to develop the right mindset. And that's a biggie right there, is developing the right mindset. You have to spend your first couple of years not just growing your business, but growing your mindset, growing yourself. And once you get your mindset straight, once you get the right attitude, you can go places. But, this generally doesn't happen overnight. Results, like we like to say, results are not typical. Some people will get into a home-based business or network marketing opportunity, and they will just knock it out of the park. I heard of one lady that she got involved in a network marketing company, and within 5 weeks, she had become a double diamond in that opportunity. And, she was just exceptional, and she had a great attitude. She said she got into that business because everybody around her told her she couldn't do it. She didn't have the computer skills, she didn't have the knowledge, she wasn't a network marketer, blah, blah, blah. And she just took all that criticism and she said, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do this because everybody else around me says I can't do it, so I'm going to prove them wrong. And she just had the perfect mindset, really. And she knocked it out of the park. 5 weeks. She was a radical success. But she was a very exceptional lady. She still is a very exceptional lady. And that's what makes her the exception and not the general rule. For most folks, your first year is going to be spent getting in there, learning, making mistakes, learning from your mistakes, and still hanging in there and just learning as you go. So when you start a new home-based business, be sure that you're giving yourself enough time to learn that business. And if it is a business that you have to pay to get into, like some network marketing businesses and online business opportunities, you can start for free. There are some expenses as far as advertising costs and driving traffic to your link and all that, but they don't have a monthly membership fee. Others, they do have a low monthly membership fee, plus you have to kind of factor in advertising budget and all that. And you've got to take a really good look at the particular business opportunity that you're interested in and see, okay, what will it cost me to become a member and to get involved in it? Is it a free opportunity, or is it one that is going to cost me a monthly membership fee? And then figure out, okay, do I have the budget to stick with this business for at least a couple of years? And am I going to be able to give myself enough time to learn this business? And will I actually take this business seriously? That's where a lot of businesses fail right there, is people just don't want to take the time to learn. They don't want to get serious about educating themselves and utilizing the training that comes with the opportunity, and they just kind of set themselves up for failure that way. But if you want to try to budget yourself for long-term success in a home-based business, before you get started, just sit down and calculate costs. Okay, if you've got a business opportunity that's going to cost, I've seen them anywhere from $30 a month to about $100 a month, and there's a few that probably over that. Business opportunities that I am into, they range from about $30 a month to $55 a month, and yeah, I do have some too that I'm involved with that you can get started in absolutely free. But of course, there is a cost involved in promoting it, depending on how you want to promote it. So, first of all, just sit down and look at what is this business going to cost me, as far as maybe a monthly membership fee, and how much money will I realistically have to put into this business to advertise this, and then ask yourself the question, can I do this? Work with a budget. Can I keep to this budget for a couple of years while I'm learning the ropes? And if you can, great. I think you've got a good long-term budget for success. But you have to factor in a few costs. Your startup costs, buying into an opportunity, buying into a business. If it's a business that you do have to pay a monthly membership fee for, you got to calculate that expense. And then you got to figure out how you're going to advertise it. A lot of business opportunities that I've seen, they recommend that you buy solo ads. They recommend that you put about, $300 into solo ads a month or a week, depending on what you can afford, and just keep right on advertising that way. Other folks have different ways of advertising. There's a way where you can advertise your business through social media marketing. And if you want to do it that way, that is a nice, affordable way to promote your business. But you also have to learn how to do social media marketing right. So many people, myself included, when they first do social media marketing, they make all the same mistakes. They just do it the wrong way. And you end up getting yourself thrown into Facebook jail and Twitter jail, and just it can be a really huge discouragement when that happens. But if you sit down with some good basic materials that teach you how to do social media marketing correctly, then you can save yourself a lot of headaches. But, so many people, when they get into social media marketing, they think, well, hey, this is easy. All I have to do is just blast my link out to everybody on social media, and I'll start making sales. And there's a little bit to it, more so than just that. So you do have to sit down with some good training material and learn how to do social media marketing. And if you're into a network marketing opportunity or any good, reputable business opportunity, they will have training in that opportunity to teach you how to promote it, how to talk to people. Some might even give you some scripts and some copy that you can use to kind of teach you how to talk to people and how to promote your business. And if you're in a network marketing or business opportunity like that, make sure that you are using all the training that they provide and taking that seriously. But that's where we like to say, at least I like to say, that when you're starting a home-based business, figure that first year is going to be your learning year. And that doesn't mean that you can't make money your first year in. Hopefully you will be making some money your first year in. But you are going to be making some mistakes, And you've got to be able to learn from those mistakes, and you've got to be able to take the time that it requires for you to learn the basics of doing that business. And it may take you a few months to learn that. It may take up to a year. Again, results are not typical. Folks are different. Different people are going to be putting, a different amount of energy into it. Some will spend more time than others. Some people will only be working at the weekends. Others will be working at 5-7 days a week. So no, results are not typical. Some people learn fast. Some people learn slow. But whatever your learning speed is, make sure that you're giving yourself the time that you need to learn the business, and don't get discouraged the first few times that you make a mistake and throw in the towel. My first year in my first home-based business, I felt like my back was against the wall. I had no other opportunities, and I knew I just had to make a success out of that business as fast as I possibly could. And even with that attitude, I got in there and I made a bunch of mistakes, some pretty costly mistakes. But I felt like I had to succeed. My back was against the wall. And so with every mistake, I sat back, I learned, I figured out a way around that. I figured out, how to do it better next time. And we've just been learning and growing and progressing one step at a time since that first year. But be sure that you give yourself enough time to learn the business, and be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the business, and just give it the time that it needs to grow. And before you get started in a home-based business, you're going to have doubts. You're going to question yourself. So sometimes when you get into your own business, there will be days that you question your own sanity. You will sit down and you will think, was I crazy when I got into this business? What the heck was I thinking? There will be days like that. But before you get started, do your research. Make sure that you're getting involved in a business that is legit, that has, been around for a while or looks like it's going to be around for a while. Make sure it is a good, legitimate business. Make sure that it is sustainable, that the business model makes sense and sounds good. And just make sure you're getting into something good. And make sure you're getting into something that you're going to enjoy. Because to make it a success, you're going to have to spend a lot of time with it, and you're going to be working with it quite a bit. So if it's something that you love, you're going to be working with it with joy. If it's something that you hate, it's going to become like a job. It won't be like a career. It won't be like a home-based business. It'll be more like a job where you get up every morning and think, God, do I have to do this stuff? And so when you're doing your research in the beginning, make sure that it is a good, legitimate business, and make sure that the business is right for you and that you are right for the business. And make sure that this is something that you are going to love, something that you will be wanting to keep with day after day after day. And then when those days do come where you're questioning your sanity and thinking, God, why did I get involved in this? Today has just been a terrible day. Everything went wrong. Why didn't I keep my day job? You will begin to remember, okay, yeah, this is a good business. I'm just having a bad day, and things will get better if I just keep the right mindset, keep the right attitude, and keep pushing forward. And if you're able to do that, you're involved in something that is legit, solid, and something that you love, then even when the times get tough, you're going to get in there and you're going to want to push through it and continue to work your way towards success. But yeah, budget your time, budget your money for the long term. And don't think that, all I have to do is put $3,000 on a credit card, buy into the highest level possible in this particular business opportunity, and success is sure to come. Success can come with a free business. Success can come with a $50 a month business. Success can come with a business when you buy your way to the top with a $3,000 or $5,000 price tag attached to it. But what makes it a success is not what you pay for, not buying your way all the way to the top, but what makes it a success is the amount of time and energy you're willing to put into it. Because, you can think about it this way. When you get involved in a new industry, in a new area where you're just a total, complete stranger, a complete unknown, how long do you think it's going to take for you to become a recognized authority in that business? Some people may be able to do that in like 6 months. Others a year, others 2 years. It's going to vary from one person to another depending on how good you are at it and how good you're willing to become. But be willing to give yourself enough time to get recognized as an authority. And don't just throw in the towel after a couple of days thinking, boy, I just made the biggest mistake of my life. Things may seem kind of difficult in the beginning, and if you got a good sponsor, talk to your sponsor. If you've got somebody in your upline that you can talk to, grab a hold of them too and talk to them. Take advantage of the training. Some biz ops will come with groups, Facebook groups, or their own private groups where you can talk about problems, talk about your concerns, and get help from other people. But just avail yourself of all the help that your particular business opportunity that you're investigating comes with, and just take advantage of all the resources that they provide, because good, legit business opportunities, they're going to be giving you a lot of tools, a lot of resources to use. So make sure that you read through all that stuff, use those resources, and avail yourself of every bit of training that they provide. And if you do that, you keep committed for a year or two, then, things will start to crack. Things will start to really pop. And, you can start making your way to the top. And again, when I throw out numbers like, 1 year, 2 years, obviously this is going to vary from person to person. Some folks will just do very well in 6 months. And I heard one guy say in one particular business opportunity, his sponsor told him that if you're not making 6 figures in 6 months, you're doing something wrong. Well, that's a pretty good sales point right there, but also consider that most people, when they get involved in a new business, their first 6 months in, they're going to be doing a few things wrong. Their first year in, you'll probably be doing a few things wrong. But if you're willing to stick it out and learn from those mistakes, then eventually you will get there and you will make it. But just make sure that you are budgeting yourself for long-term success. Budget your time, budget your money, and just figure, give yourself enough time to learn the ropes. 1 to 2 years, 3 years, I think that's reasonable. And maybe a little bit longer for some folks. But be willing to go the distance and just think long term. And another thing, this is going to be my final point, that when you get to the point where you start making money in your business, and again, for some folks, this may be in their first few months, others it may take a year or two, but when you do get to that point where you're starting to make money in your business, take some of that money and reinvest it back into your business and reinvest it back into your own training. If you're in a free business opportunity that has room to upgrade in, and most every free business opportunity that I've seen, they have optional upgrades to where you can upgrade your status in that business. If you start out in a free business like that, and you start making some money, look into upgrading in that company. Maybe look to see if you can upgrade from a free membership to, premium membership, because that will give you more perks usually. It'll give you maybe a better affiliate commission plan, more tools to work with, more training. And so, make sure that when you start making money, take a portion of that money, put it back into your business, put it back into upgrading the business, upgrading your membership, buying ads, buying solo ads, paying for advertising, and reinvest some of that money back into yourself. The more time that you spend improving yourself, the better your chances are of really starting to become an exceptional earner in that business. In order to become an expert in anything, it takes, about 10,000 hours of time working it, doing it, practicing it, and it doesn't happen overnight. And it also takes taking time, effort, energy, money into training yourself. There are a lot of good trainings out there for a lot of different business opportunities. And some come very reasonably priced. Some you can buy for like $10, $15 and get a really nice program, learning program. And then other training programs might cost you about $300, $3,000 even. But find a training program that is affordable for you and something that looks good, something that is highly rated, and then go ahead and reinvest some of your profits into those trainings, and then make sure that you utilize those trainings. And just be willing to keep on investing in your business and in yourself. Don't just take all the profits and blow it all in on, silly things like, food, rent, clothing, beer and pizza. A lot of people, when they start making money, they start spending that money pretty fast, and they don't think about, budgeting back anything for long-term success. So when you start making money in your business, make sure that you're taking some of that money and saving it back, budgeting it back. Save some for taxes, save some for, training, take some for upgrading in the business, take some money for, other business needs. Over the years now, we've been in home-based business here since 2011. And when we first got started, we had a junky computer. We had a junky little camera. We were making junky little films on YouTube. And we really didn't have a whole lot just starting out. And over the last several years, a decade plus, we have been taking some of the money that we make and we've been investing it in computers. We've been investing it in better cameras. I've been investing it in training programs, trying to learn how to do these businesses better and how to do a better job just promoting them. And so, we haven't taken all of our money and just blown it all in on Amazon stuff and things like that. Although sometimes that can be a temptation. But when you're first starting out your first business, make sure that you are spending your money wisely and budgeting the money that you have for the long term. And then when you start making money, don't just be a reckless spendthrift, but use your money wisely, spend your money wisely, and make sure that you're reinvesting some of that money back into the business. And if you're doing that, constantly seeking to grow yourself and investing in yourself and investing in your business, then you are going to be cultivating some long-term habits that will help you to not only become successful, but help you to grow your success, over the years, over the long haul. Don't just get into a mindset where you think, boy, all I want to do is learn how to make $2,000 a month and then I can just coast the rest of the way. Because, things change. Economy changes. Right now, the way inflation is eating into everything. $2,000 a month back a few years ago to me seemed like, pretty good money. And now I think, boy, we've really got to get better than that. And we've gotten better than that. But yeah, if you're thinking in terms of steady growth, long-term growth, just constantly scaling your way up, and not just stopping at a certain level and saying, okay, that's as far as I'm going, this far and no more. No, just think in terms of constant, steady growth. And, you can do it. Your first goal might be, if I can be making $50 a week, that might be pretty darn good. And then your next goal might be thinking, if I can make like $200 a week, that would be pretty darn good. And then your next goal might be, can I make $2,000 this month? And then after that, your next goal might be, hey, how about if I take my previous yearly income and figure out how to make that kind of money in a month? Wouldn't that be great? And just scale yourself upward that way. But don't reach a predetermined plateau and then think once you hit that plateau that you've made it. Because the moment that you sit back and relax and you think, I've got it made, I don't have to do anything else, I just have to sit back and let the business take care of me, you're setting yourself up for some problems. Because nothing remains the same forever. All things pass, all things fade away, and times change, economies change, social media changes, businesses change. You've got to be on top of it 24/7 and be willing to adapt and move with the changes as they come, because they surely do come. So, keep your eye on the long term and just budget yourself. Budget your time properly. Budget your money properly. And if you're able to get into a $3,000 business, $5,000 business with no problems, something like that might work for you. If you, on the other hand, you're struggling to pay the rent, you're struggling to keep food on the table, maybe a free business opportunity would be more, perfect for you. Those two options and everything in between can work. The only question is, are you willing to put in the time to learn how to make it work? And if so, you can go places. But again, give yourself enough time. Don't get discouraged. If you're not an overnight success in 7 days or 30 days, don't throw in the towel. If you're not succeeding within a short period of time, there's probably nothing wrong with you. You're probably just about average. Be willing to give it about 2 to 3 years and grow and use that time well. And then once you have put that time in, and if you've done it well, if you've learned, if you've really utilized that time, you can go places. One author that I love to listen to, Mark Yarnell. I think that's his name. Yeah, Mark Yarnell, author of the book Your First Year in Network Marketing. He was telling the story how he was bringing in associates into his network marketing company. And he said he was bringing in lawyers and doctors. And these people were coming into his network marketing business because they realized they could actually make more money working the network marketing opportunity than what they could make, working their own trade. And he used that as an illustration. His advice was be willing to give it at least a year or 2 years to really learn and make it work. And he said, when you think about the amount of time that doctors have to put in doing their studies, doing their college, doing their graduate work, doing their doctoral, and their all the other steps that they have to take to become a doctor, it's like 8 years, 10 years? It is a large chunk of time. And you think that in home-based business, in certain network marketing opportunities, you have the possibility of earning more than a doctor? Isn't that worth taking a couple years of your life to learn? It doesn't happen overnight, but big things are possible if you're willing to give it a reasonable length of time, 1 to 2 years to 3 years. Be willing to learn and grow as you go, and just be willing to stick it out through the tough times. When we got started in our first home-based business, it was a bad economy. Times were tough. Gas prices were high. Kind of similar to what we're experiencing right now. And, we made it work. Because I just got myself to a point where I figured we have no choice. We have to make this work. Failure is not an option. And that was my mindset. And so, great things are possible even in the worst of times. You just have to believe in yourself, invest in yourself, be willing to invest a little bit into your business, whatever that may be. It may be a shoestring budget, but make sure it is a shoestring budget that you can work with for the long term. And then commit to long-term growth, long-term learning, and eventually, if you take it seriously, that can result in long-term success. So those are my recommendations. Start with at least a 3-year plan. Get involved with a business that you can afford to stick with for at least a 3-year period. Budget your money that you're going to need for any memberships that you need to have, advertising costs, personal training, and use all the training that is available in your business opportunity. And then when you start making money, take some of that money, reinvest it right back into your business, into your own personal training, and make sure you're putting money in the bank to pay for taxes. So that is about it for now. We will be back in a couple of days on the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. Not too sure what the topic will be, but if you have a topic that you would like for me to cover on these podcasts, contact me at ralphlindy.com. And we have a contact section there. Just click on that, shoot me your question, and I would be happy to address it if I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'll just say I don't know. I don't like making stuff up. And also, if you're wanting to check out some of the business opportunities that I am in, you can find those too at ralphlindy.com. I've got the sidebar active, got a few different business opportunities advertised in that sidebar. So go there, check it out, see if anything suits you. And if you want to join my team, be happy to have you aboard. So until later, this is Ralph signing out, wishing you much success in your home-based business life. And we'll see you again in a couple of days. Thanks for dropping by, and take care.